Greetings from Mission Control Houston, and welcome to today's International Space Station update. You're joining us here inside of the Flight Control Room at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, where the Orbit 2 team is currently on console monitoring all of their respective systems on board this orbiting laboratory. Today's team being led today by Flight Director Ed Van Cise there on the right, and joining him at the Capcom position is Kathy Bolt, serving as the communication link between controllers down here on the ground and the astronauts up in space. Those astronauts right now are the crew of Expedition 32, moving into well over 100 days for 3 of our crew members on their 107th day on board the International Space Station. We'll start over on the left. We have Japanese astronaut Aki Hoshide, then Russian cosmonaut Yuri Malenchenko, and then another NASA astronaut Sunny Williams. Next to her is NASA astronaut Joe Akaba, and then Expedition 32 Commander Gennady Padalka of the Russian Space Agency, and all the way on the right there is our third Russian cosmonaut Sergei Revin. The crew in a half-duty day today as they continue to prepare for tomorrow's spacewalk, where NASA astronaut Sunny Williams and Japanese astronaut Aki Hoshide will be stepping outside of the station's airlocks for a 6.5-hour excursion to replace a faulty power unit, and then rig up a couple of power cables for a future Russian laboratory module, and also replace a camera. You can see them going through and getting their suits and all of their tools ready for their final preparations here. So again, the crew in an off-duty day. Joe Akaba was reviewing some of those spacewalk procedures along with Williams and Hoshide, and while he won't be stepping outside, he will be kind of quarterbacking the entire thing from inside of the space station and providing them robotic support. Aside from that, Akaba was also working today to install a secondary power distribution assembly. It's a power jumper designed to ensure that power is provided to vital station systems should anything occur, and while they're out there replacing this failed multi-switching unit power relay out on the station's truss. Astronaut Sunny Williams is spending most of her day today preparing that equipment lock and configuring all of the tools that her and Aki will be using during their spacewalk. Again, you can see them here inside of the airlock and getting those suits ready. She was joined by Hoshide in all of that preparation, and Aki was also going through his last procedure review with teams down here on the ground, along with Williams, while they continue to make sure everything is choreographed out correctly and they're ready to go. Meanwhile, our Russian cosmonauts on board the station doing a few maintenance activities and biological experiments. Commander Padalka replacing a battery unit inside of the Zvezda service module, tagging up with experts down on the ground in Koryov in the Russian Mission Control Center while he goes through with that process. Sergei Revin working today on the Typologia experiment, which looks to study and develop methods to improve the cosmonauts' readiness for various types of operator activities, which can be impaired due to the rush of blood to the head that's natural in the weightless environment of the International Space Station. So it goes through a number of tasks, including question and answer games on a computer, and then they're all logged and then studied by researchers down here on the ground. And Revin was also going through the Zvezda and Zarya modules today, taking some air samples. So they constantly monitor the breathing atmosphere for these astronauts on board the station, checking for any contaminants or potential hazardous gas buildups like carbon dioxide. Then our third Russian cosmonaut and final Expedition 32 crew member Yuri Malenchenko was doing an audit of the station's medical kit, making sure everything in place is these medical kits on board the station, always there in case of emergency should anything happen, and all of the crew members having some medical proficiency training and always being backed up by teams here on the ground. Malenchenko also working today on the pneumocard experiment, which looks to study the adaptation of the cardiovascular systems inside of these crew members during their long-duration microgravity missions. But again, crew and a half-duty day for today. All things looking forward to that spacewalk scheduled to begin tomorrow at 7:15 a.m. Central Time. We'll be bringing you coverage of that EVA live here on NASA television. Coverage kicking off at 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Eastern, with the two astronauts, Williams and Hoshide, scheduled to go out the door at 7:15 a.m. Central Time.